All right, hey everyone. I'm doing a update on comments in YouTube. There haven't really been too many comments uh, on Steemit, but there are a ton of comments actually. A lot of activity going on here, and so I'm gonna go through a lot of stuff from the last time. Uh, that was just responses from the last video comment, so I think it all pretty much starts right here. Uh, You already have a this is regarding the idea of ammo regeneration. So far the ammo regeneration mechanic doesn't seem to be awful. However, that can very quickly change the second I see somebody playing the game. Um, the behavior that I'm going for is that it feels more like cooldowns, managing cooldowns. So like you fire a gun for a little while and now you switch to a different gun, and by the time the different gun is out of ammo, you might look over and see like, oh, I got 3 grenades, and I'll fire 3 grenades, and then I'll switch to my rocket launcher and I'll fire like 2 rockets, and then I'll switch back to the other gun because now the other gun's full again by the time I'm done doing all that. So it becomes kind of like a cycle where you're supposed to kind of like be like constantly switching between the guns, and by the time you're done with what you're currently using, then the other stuff is already replenished enough for you to make effective use of it again. What I don't want to see is what Clems here brings up is if the optimal method is to wait between every fight for your energy, rockets, ammo to go up again, then you can be sure players will do exactly that. He's absolutely right. Clemens is dead on 100% correct. I know I already responded in text. I should probably just, when I'm doing these videos, I probably should just respond. Um, and basically, I'm just sort of summing up what I was saying before. The only thing is that when I say it out loud, it's probably easier to understand where I'm coming from. But yeah, like uh, I believe it's called degenerative strategy. Is when people who are taking something seriously, playing a game seriously, want to optimize everything. They're min maxers. They're people who want to be pretty much 100% like as effective as they possibly can be in the game. They're gonna stand around waiting for every single rocket to like replenish. And if I see that kind of behavior, yeah, then I'm not doing regenerating ammo. I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna rebalance it so that it's more of a traditional. You have a larger stockpile of ammo. It only replenish. You can kind of replenish it a little bit at like certain places where you just run up to it and like there'll be like ammo pickups from killing enemies, but it will like overall the only way to fully replenish your ammo is to go back to a quote unquote bonfire, which is a home point in Project Stray. Something along those lines is probably where things will end up going. Um, so with that said, uh, yeah, this was just going off of talking about cryptocurrency and stuff like that. I want to keep more focused on Project Stray for this because I'll talk about cryptocurrency in a different video. When I mix these up too much, I feel kind of conflicted actually. Like maybe I should just go ahead. The day I can pay taxes on internet currencies is the day it becomes legal tender. Until then, no company can pay you or invoice you in an internet currency, and it is simply not legitimate. My plan is like, if it comes down to it, it's probably not going to happen. But who knows? Like, if I can get lucky enough to gain enough of a following, and I am right now, I'm gaining followers like crazy. If I can gain enough of a following on Steemit, then I'll probably have enough to be able to like begin a power down where I'm not actually just bleeding out money, and the power down will will have to be converted into U.S. dollars, and I'll be reporting that and paying taxes on that because that just makes the most sense to me. I don't know. I don't know when it comes to anything else. Like when it comes to like do I owe taxes on the Vericoin that I don't have access to? I lost the fucking password. I have a wallet, a Vericoin, and like do I owe that? Like I don't know. there's so many stupid, weird, like that. I don't know. But definitely when I convert to USD, obviously gotta that's gotta that's going to I'm gonna have to pay like taxes on that. Anyway, weird topic. It's a weird topic, and I'll talk to a professional about it and see what they think. But it's just such a nuanced and fucked up situation when it comes to like cryptocurrency and the IRS. I have no idea how to even think about it. It's bad enough just paying with regular fiat. That's confusing enough as it is. Can the game engine work with voxels? Now, when I showed off the possibility of doing voxels, the more I kept, oh neat, the more I kept, Zombie Doll posted on Steemit a thing just now, where we went down to what was it, Victoria Park in all right, you want to talk about splitting off into other topics, but anyway, hold on a second. Da-da-da-da. It looks like Pac-Man. Sorry, I got distracted. All right, I'm gonna have to. Let's see. There's our kitty cat. All right. Fucking. Pow. I like this post. Okay. Anyway. Back to my point. Oh god, all right. Back to what I was doing. Sorry, that was a complete fucking detour. That was a little strange. An idea if you could create any idea if you can create voxel like a voxel texture, so you can use these voxel textures for everything, geometry and models. Yeah. Magic of Voxel is too good. Like, is I kinda hit a fucking gold mine with this. I looked up Magic of Voxel gives total credit, like total permission. Blender is free, so I have an art pipeline where I can I can do all of the art for the entire game outside of like 2D textures, like icons and shit. If I can make everything look good in Magic of Voxel, I have guns, bad guys, fucking level geometry, textures. Like other than that, there might need to be some like things for like when I want to doctor emissive maps onto light fixtures and do all that kind of stuff. There's more of that up above. Alleycat brings up some stuff, but yeah. Anyway, let me actually read your post. Also, with Doom or more detailed texture detail, you can make some very cool 3D voxel textures um, off cause. Off cause developing this tech will take a lot of time, of course. And if you want to focus on the game mechanics, 2D sprites, maybe with height maps to give them. No, I honestly, the way everybody's reacting to the voxel stuff and the fact that the voxels are so easy, sorry, I keep fucking coughing. Um, I'm thinking just going full out with the voxels, unless there's something that says no. Like so far, the stuff that I'm seeing with it, how easy they are to do, how the only difficult part with the pipeline is applying, making sure that the voxels have a proper UV map for uh, texturing or light mapping. I mean, anyway. But with 2D sprites, blah, blah, make a quick design with better light particles, fog, more organic, and slightly higher poly count map design with 3D enemies with Q2 level of detail. Okay, when I think of all the 3D work animations, I think you should go with Duke 3D detail level. That even Duke 3D might be even Duke 3D is a surprisingly detailed game if you really pay attention, but maybe with normal and high height maps on top of 2D texture sprites to give it some sparkles, setting it apart from Duke 3D and GZ Doom. What made Doom also great was the photo captured 3D sculpted enemies. Definitely agree. You should have a Blender 3D artist that is also a good animator to make the original humanoids. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like I could do the the geometry for the characters. I could do the geometry for the weapons and stuff, but I'm probably gonna have to find someone to do the animations or at least hook them up or something like that. I mean, if I can get it that far though, like then that's really water under the bridge. I mean, obviously, if the game is like just requires like animations, then if I get to that point, like that's that's pretty good. You should field design. You should design these from the basis of your mechanics leading to functions from which the artist comes up with a creature, color palette, and art style. hmm As merely copying leads to wrong expectations and confusion. True. Sound. Don't underestimate sound. Just imagine Doom 2016 with lame, cheap sound design. Totally agree. Cyber Demon without that menacing mechanical walk. Yeah, I totally agree. Voxel textures takes a huge amount of memory for even the simplest things. Also, it's absurdly slow to render compared to meshes. Well, right now what I'm doing is definitely meshes, like the stuff that I've already got. I'll start showing like just pictures and stuff like that. Make sure to be watching my Steemit because a lot of updates won't be in videos. I'll actually just be showing pictures of like the guns and the tiles that I'm making to place into the world, and you can give like feedback on those things. In regard to my comment about having only low amount of guns and enemies. Oh yeah, this is okay. I was talking about the 3 level demo, not the whole game. I'm working on 13 level wide myself, and I've got a list of ideas that spread out all, over all of them. You know, I definitely agree with that. It's just in this case that the game is kind of based around its loot system, and if I water that down, then I'd be giving up a big part of what the game is kind of about. But yeah, I definitely agree. Like having fewer weapons makes things a lot easier. That's for sure. But the voxels make things a lot easier to make the graphics for the weapons. And I already have a little bit of experience with, making it so that the gun, like I have a gun blueprint that I can point to, and that places the gun like on the screen. And like when you pull the trigger, the gun blueprint can be constantly looking to see whether or not you're currently firing the weapon, and every time your recoil goes, I have all kinds of ideas on how like I can make the weapon even like go to the center of the screen when you aim down sight, so like you actually see the weapon in the middle of the screen. There's like there's a lot of stuff like that that's pretty straightforward to do, just using the blueprints. You're at a stage where you just need assets to hook up to your blueprints. Hmm. I'm immediately thinking use the Epic assets on the marketplace for free and just get something up from running fast as possible. Uh, well, if I'm in good shape right now, I mean I have a little bit of time before I'm gonna have to move out of Canada. I'm basically being kicked out of the country. Yeah, I'm not complaining. It's, but it's kind of funny. There's nothing I could do. Like I have to move next month. Like at the end of next month, I have to be like moving back to the States. So I have just enough time to get a lot of stuff in place. Enough that hopefully I'll be able to get enough attention, and hopefully I'll kind of get the ball rolling on being able to kind of like uh, have a little bit more of a following and stuff like that. And if I can get a following on Steemit and people are like liking my stuff, then I'll be in really good shape actually. Uh, but anyway, I forget why I got into that. Oh yeah, because of how fast things need to go. I honestly think that the Voxel Magica is like a godsend. It's like it just came out of the clouds. I might be wrong, but yeah, let's see how good my guns look first, I guess. Anything above that and get the artist to deal with it. Actually I known about the Zen Garden and the Elemental demo, and then there was the Infinity Blade stuff. I looked at all those assets. They're pretty cool. They're definitely really cool, actually. But I don't know. To me, consistency is so important. Like if I'm doing voxels and then I like have Infinity Blade art stuff, kind of weird. So on this, I think about the art is that the more detailed said art is, the more attention it gets, and detail does not conflict with aesthetic. The theme does, however. The theme does, however. By making enemies and guns voxels, it might highlight them more. If anything, you could make voxel art bosses only to make them stand out more. So on that note, I'm kind of wondering about that because it's like uh like if I'm only doing bosses with voxels. I don't know. For a while, I was just thinking that the characters in the game would just be like 2D sprites because they would just it would just be easier. But I don't know anymore. I think actually, if I was to take art design tips from something like Trove, I would be able to do a lot more with a lot less. Not to speak for Carlos, but I think there is a potential issue with using voxels as it can detract from the game. You know how much marketing and media people love to put a pin on something. So, is it that you want this to be referred to as another voxel art game, as a throwback to the 90s, or as a game that scares the living shit out of you, testing everything you've learned about tactics and strategy in shooter games? It's a thorny issue. Well, what I want the game to be known as is, hey, that guy who did No Rest for the Living, Doom level, decided to just make his own game that's basically Dark Souls combined with like that's what I would like for people to know. Like the voxel thing is just a means to an end, but really what this is like I decided to make my own game so I can make my own Doom maps. Like literally, like that. Like instead of just making more Doom maps for Brutal Doom or something like that, which is something I was gonna do anyway, I decided to just take the initiative and make my own game and combine it with Dark Souls as my own mechanics, and now I'm making Doom maps for my own project, if that makes any sense. And that could have boss fights, and that actually takes things up a lot on a lot of levels. Great video, man. I just followed you and set up my Steemit account. Let's see. So you set up a Steemit account? I think it's a good idea. Like, yeah. So this is from the cryptocurrency stuff. So let's see. What do you got here? Interesting Bitcoin news is this is a Resteem. Look at the Resteem though. It's like $1,000. Resteem. Mind-blowing properties across the globe. Hello, Steemit lovers. It's nice to meet you all. Okay, here you go, pal. Dropped my $1.77 on you. Mind-blowing properties across the globe. Hello, Steemit users. Is this a really big post? Holy crap. Whoa. These apartments. This is the sickest apartment I think I've ever seen in my fucking life. Jeez, what the fuck? That is just like, what in the fuck? Is that like a golf course or something? What the? Is that a swimming pool? Good fucking hell. All right. I'm getting distracted. I'm still recording. Uh, there you go, man. Good luck with Well, you've already got 77 followers, so you're doing better than I was when I started. So I don't know how long ago you started, but like, I followed you as well. So good stuff, man. And let's see. Last but not least, and sorry, this is up to 20 minutes again. My videos are always long. Like, light the level with an ambient cube map. I'm definitely thinking about that. Like, Zombie Doll walked over and I showed her the current art that I already have in the game. And the first thing she said was how blue. She's like, "Man, that's really blue." It looks like you're saying the same thing. How blue it is. Like you just see a video of it and it's blue. So I'm gonna have to like tone that back. There's definitely a lot of stuff that needs to happen. I'm not against the idea of just having like an ambient light level. But really, what I want to do is just have a lot more lighting placed into the level, like light fixtures and shadows and stuff like that. But there's definitely going to be at least a little bit of ambience because complete blackness is just stupid, right? I don't like that, but where it's just dark enough where you use your flashlight and you have infinite battery. It's just a flashlight that's basically just a light that's attached to the player character. Um, oh yeah, the enemies have a flashlight too, don't they? I can make them use the flashlight. Anyway, if you make and this is just like a lot of advice for like the skylight might help to smooth out the lighting. Yeah, I have a sunlight in place right now, but everything's really bonkers lighting wise because all of the flat sheets that I place do not block lighting. They don't affect light at all. So until I have more geometry in that area, you're simply just not going to see lighting the way it's supposed to look, and it's going to be very blue, but it's already too blue. If you make all the materials 100% rough and drop the specular to, that will cut out the surface nicely. Actually, I want to try and do things where I'm going to make the materials a little bit more advanced. If you go for the actual point and spots, which is likely based on what you said. If you go for actual point and spots, point lights and spotlights, you could flatten scale up the lights and again increase the roughness to 100% or 1.0, and this will make them seem like they're tonal and old school. Yeah, I'm definitely not happy with the lighting yet. Like I need to get more stuff in there, and then I'll get a better pass on it, and I'll see what you have to say about that. Like your palette could be a bit more pastel. Yeah, that blue seems a little sharp. Yes, it is. Instead of white and max value RGB, go off tone. Yeah, I'm thinking of blues, greens, and oranges kind of interdispersed, but I don't want to do blorange. Blorange kind of makes me feel bad because it's used too much. Blue and orange, like, but this'll definitely be a step up from Intrude's graphics. It'll be basically like if Intrude was on the NES, then this will be like on the Super Nintendo, if that makes any sense. I guess you know how old I am now. You're okay. By the way, have you seen the new geometry tool for UE4 yet? No, I haven't. I want to see it. Every time I try to think about like going to check it out, either I don't find it, or or somebody, or I just get distracted and I just forget about it. It's coming in 4.17, but the new dev branch of geometry. The thing that I like a lot about the flat sheet thing that I'm doing, though, I know it's not the best, but it allows it allows me to kind of build things in a way where I can just grab a wall and then replace it with something else because the origin is always going to be in a predictable location, right? So like using that method, I'm able to just like grab stuff that I've already built and just kind of replace it, and it just like plops it right to where it should be, and I have an approximation of like what the walls, floors, and ceilings are all going to look like. Um, that kind of art pipeline doesn't usually work in larger studios because I've never met two artists that like to put the origin for the model in the same place. Like, um, It's kind of like a, the probability of like finding another planet, another habitable planet or something like that. Like maybe one day, maybe someday we'll yeah. It's so artists don't know what origins are, so that's usually why you don't see methods like this employed, because they either put the origin at the fucking center of the pillar, the bottom of the pillar, or off to the side somewhere, or floating off in space. That's my favorite. So origins just it's like playing the lottery. But for that matter, I'm going to go ahead and end this now. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. And if you make Steemit accounts, I will upvote your first posts as well. As long as my Steam voting power stays above 80%, which I'm pretty sure it will, because not many people seem to be using Steemit very much. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. And yeah, and done.